Hello everyone and welcome to Galaxy 89 Cars. Today I'm bringing you an in-depth tour of a 2017 Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. Before we get started, I'd like to say thank you to Bishop's Alfa Romeo for affording me this opportunity. The new Quadrifoglio, which stands for 4-leaf clover, is the most powerful road car Alfa have ever produced and is built with the underlying philosophy of joining human and structural necessity to create beauty, usability and performance. The 4-leaf clover has been a constant symbol of luck and success for Alfa Romeo since driver Ugo Savocci beat a string of second-place finishes to win the Targa Florio in 1923, after attaching the symbol to his car. As a result, it now features on all of their most prominent models. The ultimate Giulia is rear-wheel drive with active torque vectoring and is being crafted with a 50-50 weight distribution, which partly explains its very impressive Nürburgring time of 7 minutes 32 seconds, beating a significant amount of well-regarded performance vehicles. Made in collaboration with Ferrari, it is powered by an aluminium 2.9 litre bi-turbo V6, producing 510 brake horsepower and 600 Nm of torque. This results in a 0 to 62 mph or 100 km/h time of 3.9 seconds, and a top speed of 191 mph. Yet, 34 mpg is still said to be achievable by the manufacturer. At the rear, we find its valve-controlled, quad-tipped exhaust system. Let's see how it sounds. It sits on 19-inch front and rear, 5-hole dark aluminium wheels, which is one of 4 styles to choose from. Torque is optimised at the rear by a torque vectoring system that is based on a differential that contains 2 clutches. This enables torque to be sent to the wheel that needs it most to ensure no loss of traction when cornering. With carbon ceramic brakes available, but drilled and ventilated discs as standard. The vehicle starts with the tri-lobe grille, customary to Alfas. Under this it features a carbon active aero front splitter that opens up at 62 mph to create up to 220 pounds or 100 kg of downforce. Above are bi-xenon headlights and LED day running lights with Alfa Romeo inscribed on the side. The car has a curb weight of 1,524 kg, which is quite light for a saloon. Weight saving has been found all over the car, with the bonnet and roof being constructed from carbon to reduce weight and to keep the centre of gravity low. The carbon bonnet features ridges, with air vents atop to release hot air from the engine. Some of similar size can also be found to the rear of the front wheel arches, with clovers above. The electrically adjustable wing mirrors carry the sweeping lines from the bonnet and feature side indicators. With the door handles being constructed of standard design. Below, a small carbon side skirt runs under the sills. Moving to the rear, we see a small carbon wing running off the top of the boot lid. Moving around further, the reversing camera sits under the rear Alfa badge. Below, there is quite an aggressive rear diffuser that sweeps round the exhaust on each side. The key fob features buttons for lock, unlock and to open the boot. And on the opposing side, the Alfa symbol. It feels quite large, but made well. As we move into the interior, we see that the handle pulls out in the standard outward motion to open the door. I personally really like the interior here. It's a mix of carbon with leather and Alcantara and red contrast stitching. It all feels very well made, very well put together and very purposeful. The carbon side skirts jut out, but this doesn't really affect entry as the sill isn't that wide or high. And it's topped with an Alfa Romeo sill plaque. The door also opens quite far, which facilitates easy ingress and egress. Now I'll take you on a short POV tour of the interior before going into more detail. As with most modern cars, the Quadrifoglio has many electrical systems on board: ABS, ESC, torque vectoring, active aero, IBS and active suspension. Alfa have designed a system known as Chassis Domain Control, or CDC, to integrate all of these systems so to create harmony and the fastest response times. The top of the doors are upholstered in black leather with red contrast stitching, which take you from the rear to the carbon inlays around the door release catches and internal lock controls to the front. The armrests below follow the same design with electric window and mirror controls at the end. The Quadrifoglio features a Harman Kardon sound theatre surround sound system, with a speaker found in the door. Moving back, there is also door storage with a cup holder. Moving inward, we first find the boot release catch with the bonnet release catch further in. The air vents twist to open or close and can be rotated 360 degrees. Below are the exterior light controls. The performance wheel has been decreased in size for the Quadrifoglio and features leather, Alcantara and carbon with contrast stitching. It certainly feels smaller than others, but this could make it more nimble. To the left are controls for cruise control and the ignition, and to the right torque, cool and audio controls. I'll show you the startup sequence for the dash and central screen. Ahead of the driver is the speedo and fuel gauge to the right, with another clover, 7-inch TFT driver instrument cluster, and to the left, engine revs and temperature. The central screen offers information for the gear selected, a basic trip, and a G-meter. These options are changed using a button to the end of a stalk to the right of the wheel. The main 8.8-inch display is integrated into the dash, so sits flush against it, a feature I personally really like. Within each sub-menu, there are options along the side, as seen here in the Sat-Nav. As this isn't a touchscreen, the scroll wheel on the central column is used to navigate. Going back into the main menu, we can then select radio, media, phone, navigation, which we've already seen, apps, where various information about the car can be found, tyres, maintenance and oil level in the first menu, with efficient drive information in the second, and the user guide last. The final menu option is for general settings, which offers controls and information on lighting, safety, infotainment and other options. Beside the central scroll wheel is the knob used to select the different drive modes, with A at the bottom and race at the top. The car has 4 drive modes, with the first 3 cleverly spelling DNA, which fits into the ethos of this car. A is for advanced efficiency, which maximises energy saving and efficiency. N is for natural, which delivers a more comfortable daily driving experience. D is for dynamic, which creates stiffer suspension feel and sharper throttle response. And finally race, which opens the exhaust valves and allows engine overboost function. Below this are 2 central air vents with air conditioning and ventilation and heated seat controls. With a single USB input below. The Quadrifoglio has an 8-gear automatic transmission. When the ignition is on, internal lights within the shifter illuminate its various functions. The car can be left in auto mode, or gears can be changed manually using the shifter sequentially or the long aluminium paddles behind the wheel. The electrically adjustable Sparco sports seats feel firm but comfortable. They're upholstered in leather with Alcantara centrally and red contrast stitching with an embossed headrest. All controls, as well as memory functions, are found to the side. Into the rear. As I've mentioned before, I'm 183 cm tall and found there to be more than adequate room in the rear with the driver's seat in a comfortable driving position. The rear seats are upholstered in the same way as the front and are equally as comfortable, but not as supportive. Coming from the rear of the central column are two air vents with a single USB input. This could cause arguments. Let's move to interior storage. There are small storage nets to the rear of the front seats. In the front, two cup holders and the 12-volt socket are concealed by a gloss carbon slider. Behind, there is quite a large storage compartment with additional USB and auxiliary inputs. And on the passenger side, an illuminated glove compartment. To open the boot, simply press the button on the key or the one in the driver's footwell. The Giulia has a 480-litre boot which matches its closest competitors and is said to be very practical due to the large opening left by the boot lid. So that concludes my tour of the new Giulia Quadrifoglio. Once again, thank you to Bishop's Alfa Romeo for the opportunity. Please subscribe for the latest content, and until next time, cheers.